Hi everyone, Bobbie LaPorte here again with my weekly tip for your best next move, where I help you have more agency in your work, acknowledge your capacity to act, and see what you can do right now. So this week, I want to share with you a new perspective on how to make changes in your organization an opportunity for you and your team. So even though reorganizations and internal changes seem to be happening much more frequently now, right? It still feels like we are never quite ready. In our research with tech executives, we found that the internal change continues to be the biggest professional curveball they experience. And even with all the changes, if you feel that you may be reorg hardy, to say something to a certain extent, it always feels unsettling to some degree. You might feel that by now you should be able to bounce right back, but it rarely happens that fast. And increasingly, internal changes can be messy just because of our environment of unrelenting uncertainty. For example, if you're impacted by an internal change, it could be a temporary situation that may morph and change a few more times before it finally settles, only to likely change again before you can catch your breath. Or it could be an acquisition that you fully expect means integration of some functions, but it turns out that's not the case right away. And you end up supporting a group for an extended period of time instead of having them come under and report to your org. You can't predict how these things will turn out with any certainty, but you can be sure that they will be messier than you expected or would like. So how do you get yourself and your team ready to deal with internal change and not get stuck or derailed? Well, here's my tip. Make sure you have a clear understanding of your team's skills, strengths, and value to the organization. Don't fall into the trap of having a fixed view of how they can contribute to a changing organizational landscape. By doing this, it will enable you to get ahead of the curve and also ahead of your peers who are most likely stuck and longing to keep living in the past. And use situations like this as a learning lab for you and your team. Consider the skills and latent talents that your team could deploy. How can they extend themselves while at the same time helping others come up to speed more quickly when change hits? As the problems that our organizations face become more complex, solving them will require using the skills of others across the enterprise. You can't just rely on what your team has done in the past. And by preparing your team for change, you are helping them build capacity to handle future change more effectively, because the curveballs will keep coming. As you know, I want 2021 to be a year of momentum for you, one of possibility thinking that takes advantage of the agency we sometimes forget we have. So that's my tip for the week. Hopefully no more change coming your way, but if you suspect it might be, it's time to get ready. I'll see you next week. All right, have a great week, everyone. Take care of yourself.